This is a social scene from my book, Down and Out New Orleans, Transgressive Living in the Informal Economy with Columbia University Press. The scene is the Blue Nile on Frenchmen Street, Stooges brass band. Marina strolling, the deep, dense, heavily moonlight along Frenchmen Street, just behind the Vucare, stumbling and bumbling and rumbling. It's New Orleans steady bouncing from DBA to the Blue Nile music venue. It's all smoke and beer and whiskey and sex and sax and funk and trombone. The band starts in the third piece of the first set. Saturday night, everything clicking just right. Big man saxophonist blows left and right, up and down, pumping knees, marching style while blowing the hell out of the brass. The crowd, hot and high and frenzied, swings forward, backward, left, right, it doesn't matter. Trombonist with cheeks puffing out like a blowfist about to explode. Drummer desperately tries to maintain pace, wildly beating on Kerouac's rolling crash of butt-scarred drums. Trombone man puts down the brass to shout, "You gotta wind it up," and something about Michael Buck. The crowd cares less about the actual words because it's only the beat that means the damn thing. The drummer plays a series of hits, a steady quarter note conduit, like a breathing culture, like the Ogu giving passage to the spirit world of gods and their lambs. Mobs of revelers, balancing beers and cocktails, spilling all over the place. A smoke hangs from the right side of my lips, while a pretty one twirls like a well-balanced top on my left hand. It's not about being cool or dancing or the repetitive lyrics or the presentation of self or feeling as one collective connected to that proverbial something larger. There's also a sense of sadness of the culture, but you have to work hard to become aware of it. You battle with the culture while it rejects you and your arrogant sense of self-importance. Arrogance is lost in the screaming trombones and the beating drums, so all the sense of some essence of self or claim to authenticity or thoughts that you matter or illusions that you're a part of something more. No one here tries to rescue individual subjectivity from cannibalizing objective culture. It's about realizing the simultaneous destruction of the self to save the self, the creation of culture through resisting it, saving the world by realizing it needs to be obliterated. It's about endless destruction to satisfy the human need for self-realization. The drummer beats and the trombonist trombones to funk and splash and shrieks, and no one knows yet that there's something here to get. It's as if, with the music makers teasing out that moment of it, the first wave will know, and the knowing will know, and they will move in a knowing way until it spreads and begins to respond. A cultural dance to commence between the makers and receivers. This dialectical creation of music is a passageway to all that is frightening, and history, and myth, and reality. Here in Down and Out Nola, we reclaim reified culture and give it our own human identity. The mood suddenly changes when a sweat-drenched man with a long white t-shirt and baggy, saggy jeans demands that the frenzy stop, if only for a moment. He's got a story to tell. It's about his friend, a guy named Shotgun Joe Williams. The police killed Shotgun Joe Williams. They shot him dead. The people don't know what to do but listen and try to feel what the man at the microphone says as he evokes his sadness and love for his friend now dead. And no one really knows except knowing that this has something to do with the culture and the music that is the voice of that culture. It gives new meaning to culture, not as someone changing down, handing off knowledge from one generation to another, but as a verb that won't accept dying into the quietly into that unfriendly night. Culture here in New Orleans slaps you right in the face like the hot sauce that squirts in your eye from the sausage in your jambalaya. But if you look for it, even in the music, if you purposely look for it, it's as gone as the lover when the front door opens and the back door slams. It's a subtle reckoning, sometimes a feeble whimper, other times a collective sigh. So other times a collective roar of humans who say, yeah, you're right. It is collective in its pure drive of individual human will. They ain't willing together, mind you. They willing independently, but they willing all the same. And it is that culture. You get the culture once you finally reject the city, and only when the culture truly allows you into its labyrinth. The roaring, and dancing, and kissing, and fighting. It's all isolated individuals collectively responding in creative ways to their shared structural circumstances. Shotgun said, yeah, you're right. He was part of New Orleans. And the police killed him dead. But you can't kill culture, and you can't kill Shotgun, and a band man gonna make damn sure of that. He says he got killed by the New Orleans Police Department one day. The police stopped him as he was getting out of his car. The police shot him 17 times in full view of residents in the city's Tremaine neighborhood in New Orleans. And when we got to the scene of the crime and we asked the police officers what happened, like what he did, what was wrong, they told us they owed us no explanation. They tell us that today. This was not solved. So this song, Why Did They Kill Him? We do it every time we do a show, y'all. So rest in peace. He don't wait for a reaction, just goes groove with matchstick fire energy as vocals bellow out like Paul Revere on his proverbial horse. Oh, wah! And the people are rocking. They don't know shotgun, but at this very moment, they want to shoot the bastard cop who shot him. And that last line, nobody cares because everybody knows. And the movement of the people and the movement of the band synchronized, not because the band says so, because people try, but only because they're getting the movements of the culture that lies dormant in the deepest of souls. And the crowd, lily pasty white to charcoal black, and every shade in between, stick their middle fingers and collectively scream with fingers in the air. We say, fuck the po-po. Frenchmen Street, New Orleans.